To learn about the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell notification. Starting to get excited. Next week I get to go to Home Depot and buy some plywood and insulation and a stapler and different things we need so we can get on to the next step of our tiny house build. We'll finish up the floor, get the insulation put down, finish up the floor. As you know, Carolyn and I only spend what's on our budget for each month. Of course, we make more money than we spend, but our normal living expense budget is $800, and then we've budgeted in $500 a month to build the tiny house. And hopefully within 10 months, we'll have it all done. But I tell you, I haven't been more excited about spending money since I started my addiction of saving money. There might be some money left over to do some other projects that we want to get done also. Carolyn's got a wish list of things she wants too. So we'll just, continue to build up our property every month until it's done. Although it's probably never going to be done. Which brings me to an interesting subject. A while back, someone said they were going to sue me because the place is such a trashy pit. We just bought it back in January, and we've done a lot to clean it up. You got to understand, everything used to look like this right here. It was all grown up. We got rid of this old building that had fallen down. We got that burned up. We got piles of scrap metal now that it's all starting to look a little bit organized. We got the trailer, the mobile home that was all torn apart. It was just visible eyesore. We got that all tore down. And so we've done a lot of work. But he said he was going to sue me because I didn't get it cleaned up faster. Now, remember, this is a commenter. It's not like he could actually sue me because he didn't receive any damages. There's actually probably only 2 people that would even come close to suing me, and I don't think they really care. We got one guy way up here, and then another guy way over here. So, and both of them are kind of guys like me. Just leave me alone. You do what you want to do. I'll do what I want to do. The trolls are always terrible. And the funny thing about trolls, now, before I get started, I am not defending myself against the trolls. I've watched one of the troll channels. They're funny. They'll make fun of you. I got one guy who has dedicated a channel to a sock puppet. Hi, I just watched Little House on Off-Grid. And it's like, how pathetic are you? You're a 60-year-old man doing this? And I know he's probably in his 60s because my audience ranges from 50 to 70. I got this analytics. I watched one channel who likes to criticize me. And it's sad if you really think about it. They're so bummed out about their life, they have to tear down someone who's actually accomplished something. But he's sitting in one of his live feeds, and you can see he's just blitzed out of his mind. He can't think. He doesn't know how to operate the computer. He's talking, I'm trying to figure this out. And so, it's just funny to watch them, and then they think they have higher life expectations than me. Another thing they like to do is they like to create multiple accounts, and then they go into your comics section and they pretend to be a different person each time, and they write the same thing over and over again. Your place is ugly. Your place is ugly. Your place is ugly. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you. So you know that they're on a mission to make you feel like you're not doing well. He says, you need to stop it. You're going to start a trend of people living in little campers on pieces of property, and they're going to have tarps laid over their camper. You need to maintain things properly. Besides, it's ugly. Now think about this. Carolyn worked months and months and months trying to find this piece of property so we could be ugly. We literally live in an area that this is probably the nicest yard. This one and the next one here is probably the nicest yard within a 10-mile radius. These people live on the idea of freedom. There's a town down here. And one house should probably be condemned. But he lives in it, very happy. No trespassing sign on it. Stay out. And nobody bothers him. Another place, I think their backyard is actually their dump station where, they dump their trash. Again, nobody complains. As long as your stuff doesn't bother my stuff, who cares? As far as visual aesthetics, I can guarantee you he doesn't care about the visual aesthetics on anything. If he did, he'd walk over here. Hey, man, can you put up a fence? Can we do something? Plant some trees? It's really hard to even see this guy's house here. You can barely see it. And this guy up here, that is old gas station. It's got a garage. He lives in a gas station. It's fallen down. It's in really bad shape. They don't care. And so that's the point of living off-grid, is you're going to have to find a place where nobody cares that you're living off-grid. If you live in an area where you got guys telling you, I'm going to sue you, your place is ugly, stop promoting a ugly trend. Their lives have been crushed by their own restrictions of freedom. They go around proposing all these laws. We don't like people living in their campers, so we're going to make a law so nobody can live in their campers. And then when he turns 60 or 65, he's mad that he can't live in a camper. Well, he spent his entire life complaining about people living in their camper, so now he can't live, and now he's lost all motivation in life. The only happiness he can get out of life is trying to tear other people down. Again, I am not complaining about this. This is an important subject because I think a lot of people worry about what the neighbors are going to say. They don't achieve their life goals, their dreams, because they don't want people to think badly about them. Once I met Carolyn has been an inspiration to me. Once I met her and she said, you know what? Your dream is much more important than what they think. Now, I know that's a cliche thing to say. Who cares what they say? Do what you want to do. But the reality is nobody really does what they want to do. They worry about what somebody else says. Now, remember, when we talk about ugly, I have my IBC tank. Of course, I got a lot of stuff around it. We got our clothes hanging on it and our water bottles. And we got our wood stove, our outdoor wood furnace already. You know, that's ugly because it got a tarp on it. I want to build something around the camper, but in the meantime, we got a tarp around that. So yeah, it's pretty ugly. So let's see what else we can do. It was funny. Carolyn and I came out here this morning after we got that comment. You know, your place is ugly. So we came out and said, okay, what other ugly thing can we create just to make these guys even more angry about their own lives? We decided that what we're going to do is we're going to start looking for an old, broken down kitchen stove. We're going to convert it into an outdoor oven. We don't have an oven. We have a camping stove, propane camping stove. That's the only thing we can cook on. But it would be nice to be able to have an oven. Now, we could make one out of bricks and different things, but this just seemed really like a simple idea. Now, it's pretty simple to make, and I'm going to show you how to make it once we get the stove. We may actually go look for the stove today. There's an appliance junk store just down the road from us. We're thinking about heading down there and seeing if he's got anything really cheap or free. And so what you do is you take out that bottom drawer. You know, you got the drawer down there at the bottom where you can put all your pots and pans. At least I think that's what it's for. So we're going to take that drawer out, and that's where you start your fire. You put your fire in there. And I think I'm going to put a hole in the back, maybe some sort of chimney, so we can get the chimney to kind of do a directional thing, you know, intake, outtake, maybe a little blower in the front to blow air into where the wood is going to burn, underneath where that the pots and pan drawer is. Then we're going to stack bricks all the way around it, just like we did with our heat exchanger, and that'll insulate it, keep it nice and warm. Now, what we saw on YouTube, this thing could get up to 400 or 500 degrees. This will be really nice so we can make bread. And the thing about it is you know, you start the fire up, even in the middle of winter. You go outside, you start the fire. And he showed right there in the middle of winter, he was out there cooking, and, you know, of course, he said, it's not really that cold out here because he's standing right next to this fire. He had a whole setup. He had a rocket stove where he had a stove on top of his rocket stove. He had one of these small little convection ovens or whatever you want to call it. He converted into a little microwave, basically, is what it was. He heats up frozen pizzas. So he had a whole rack of appliances outside his house, you know, right in front of his chicken field. I mean, you can see right behind all his appliances, he had a bunch of chickens. I'm sure he had other farm animals there. We keep talking about saving the environment. Getting off grid would be a key component to doing this. So if you can use items that are recyclable, if I have an old stove, instead of just letting it go to the dump, I can reuse it, repurpose it. I can use firewood where I can grow new wood. The thing is since we are so tiny, you know, tiny house, tiny oven, tiny camper, everything's tiny, we won't use a lot of materials to burn. We'll be able to use small little twigs like that for our oven. Carolyn and I think this is paradise. Being able to be free and do what you want to do, as long as you don't affect somebody else. Of course, I mean, you don't want some guy throwing sewage down your way. You know, his black water just draining right into your yard. You don't want that. I don't see any rats running around. So we deliberately bought this place so we could be ugly. And it's wonderful. I can do what I want and not worry about the neighbors telling me it's ugly. I got to worry about some guy in another state telling me it's ugly, and I'm going to start a trend in his area, or he's going to sue me. So the point of this video is find yourself a place that you can live free. Thanks for watching.